Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys. We are here. Finally start talking about some draft stuff, okay? So we want to thank you guys for checking us out here on the YouTube page. If this is your first time here, do us a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let everybody know that you like this show. It's going to help people find us. It'll boost us in the ratings and searches when people search for 49ers. All right, so make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also, make sure you turn on your notifications. You guys did not get a heads up for today's show. This is why it's important to have your notifications turned on so you know exactly when we're going live, okay? Give us a follow on some of our social media pages, guys. We have Twitter and Snapchat, so make sure you give us a follow over there. Those handles are Nothing But 9ERS, Nothing But the number 9ERS. So make sure you give us follows over there. Also, Facebook and Instagram as well. That is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out. Spaces in between, no numbers in there anywhere. Again, that is for Instagram as well as Facebook. Nothing But Niners. We have two websites for you guys. The first one, www.nothingbutniners.com. Your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners, all right? That's going to be the place to go. You're going to find all the social media stuff, pages dedicated to you faithful out there, articles when they're coming out. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff over there. Make sure you guys have that website saved. And last but certainly not least is the other website. It is shopnb9ers.com. That is shopnb9ers.com. That's going to be your place to go for all the apparel and coffee mugs and pens and pencils and whatever it is that you want to dress. We'll get you a dress. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you let us know. We'll try to get it for you guys over there. Okay, so that's going to be the place to be. shopnb9ers.com. All right. Enough of those formalities, guys. I am your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. We're going to start by bringing my man Nick here, 49er Faithful 365. What's going on, big dog?
Bang, bang, not a gang. What's going on, Faithful? What's up, Mikey?
Yeah, man, what's going on? I'm over here trying to breathe in this tight-ass tank top. But, you know, how you feeling over there, man?
I see you got the Persian sweater out. You all good? Drinking some Modelo, too? Is that what you're drinking?
Yep.
Okay, I see
Free promo.
Free promo, Modelo. Get your Modelo. Look, don't be trying to braid them like your hair right now. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Good to have you on, man. And my man Breezy, what's going on, big dog?
What's going on, fellas? What's good, man? We back for another Nothing But Niners show. Let's get this joint cracking, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm ready to talk, man. Guys, the draft is coming up, man. And the NFL made some announcements about it. We thought it was going to get pushed back. Roger Goodell said, no. He got his Dikembe Mutombo on.
No.
What's the news, man? What's the latest news on all that stuff, guys? Let's break it down.
All right, so the news is that the draft is going to continue and take place at the scheduled draft time. I think it's April 23rd to April 25th. I believe all the festivities have been canceled. All the public festivities have been canceled. So this will probably be an old school type draft setting. Nick could talk a little bit about that. He was telling us about how the 70s work. It's going to be it's still going to be televised. But it's probably going to be where camera crews are set up inside of, that first round draft pick houses and things like that. And they'll go live from there and blah, whatever. So things will be remotely done. I don't think the league is going to lose anything. And players, though they won't get to dress up, now players can be comfortable in their own home. I mean, they could wear they where they tell me, Mike, they can dress however they choose and feel like they want to choose and still be honored and go number 1 for number 32 in that first round. And I'm hoping that the draft is still going to be, you know what I like about we're faced with adversity and we're finding ways to continue to strive on. You know what I'm saying? And it's the one thing I will say that I love about this country. Like, we try to find ways to strive regardless of what adversity that we're faced. Shout out to Goodell and the team that decided to, and the council, that decided to say, hey man, let's get this draft going. Because once the quarantine ban is lifted, we can go ahead and get back into some football, some OTAs and some spring training and all that good stuff. I think OTAs might be canceled, but at least spring training will start back up, hopefully, and all that good stuff. And that's what it is for the draft.
Nick, man, did you have any thoughts on that? I see these comments over here. They cracking me up.
Yo, I'm dying.
And they said, Mike chest hair look like Kevin Durant.
Yo, he said Mike chest hair look like Kevin Durant's haircut.
I love we got jokesters in here, yo.
Oh, my God, I love it.
Yeah, man,
Bro.
I'll never understand how Kevin Durant makes so much money, but just it's got to be the texture, yo. It's got to be the texture of his hair,
bro. And yo, he's not all right because that shit is taco meat. My man said, "You good, Mike? At least it ain't taco meat." Yeah, right.
They hating, guys.
Nah, man.
Look, mine's like fresh, nice and fresh.
I
Like,
ain't got none, yo.
you
What
got
are we doing on this show right now, Nick? Bro,
yo, you got
move like a baby bottle.
that shit's about the yo. You let your beard go anymore, you get your beard's gonna run into your chest hair. So anyway,
oh my god.
Look, I'm happy. Like I said before, man, I'm happy that they're going to keep it the same time, same date. You know, a lot of these teams have been working hard and pushing what they're going to be doing for draft. And obviously for us as fans, you know, and it's the safest way to do it. Just do it remote. You know, it doesn't need to be all big. And then, you know, they're going to go big next year. It's just, like I said, I feel bad for all the people that, you know, paid to go there. And then these guys that don't get get that little famousness, I guess you could call it, you know, being able to walk up on a stage or get, you know, taken over by a ferry to the stage. So
I think, well, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't cut you. I didn't mean to cut you.
Bro, I'm good. I'm good.
Stop looking at these damn comments, Nick.
I got to turn these comments off. I got to, bro.
I think you know what I think the NFL should do? Because if I'm one of these players and I'm getting drafted, I don't want camera crews in my house. I think the NFL, and they've got enough money to do this, you get 60, 70 cell phones or tablets, and you mail them to these people that would have normally been attending the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You mail them to them, and they can digitally, you know that they're going to have a camera there. They can use that. And that's how you video chat with them and everything on whether it be a cell phone or a tablet, and you can communicate with them that way. And it would all be secure, you know, so you don't have to worry about them using it. It's just like how they do with the tablets for the players and the playbooks and stuff like that. They have a way to secure all that stuff and lock it up and make sure that it gets to that player only, and then they can wipe it down so that way they know it's clean out of the package, and then stream it like that. I think that would be pretty dope.
You know, I don't know if did they say that they're going to have camera crews there?
No, that was just a suggestion that I was thinking that they can do, at least for the first three.
A lot of these times you see now more like these guys are doing all these shows and podcasts and things like that, and everything is remote, as in FaceTime and things like that. So
they need to make sure they get on this Nothing But Niners podcast. Yep.
Yeah, you know, so it maybe they do it that way. You know, I don't know if they need to send everybody a. That's a great idea. I just don't know if they'll do it that way. They'll probably just have their phone contacts, just FaceTime or something. But the sad thing is like, you know, these guys aren't going to have to hold up a jersey to take a picture and, you know, with the 1 or the 2 or whatever.
That's true.
They don't know when they're going to be picked, so they can't send them out to them. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. Yo, y'all got to stop in the comments, man. I'm trying to do this show.
Nah, man, let them go in, man. This is them interacting, yo. I love it, yo. It's Mike's fault. He need to cover that shit up, and we will have these comments. You know what I'm saying? Yo, but Nick, you didn't have to say that his beard was connected to his
Bro, look at it in the camera.
I don't want to look. I'm trying to look at his chest here, man. Shoot. All right,
bro,
listen.
It's the center of attention right now. This ain't no more Mike's musings. It's Mike's
cue the music, guys. Cue the music.
Yeah,
go ahead,
please.
Mike.
Like y'all done now? Y'all done? Y'all finished?
I'm good. I'm Gucci. Like, this is your fame, your 5 seconds of fame, bro. Like, bathe in it.
I'm Gucci, bro. I'm glad everybody's laughing though. This is it, man. This is the way we all are, man. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Real quick, man. Corey Wiggs sent the donation in. I'd love to get Judy, but I don't think blah 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 blah. And then we cut the joint off before I finished reading it. It's like his beard is jumping. See, oh, he said that. I thought you said that, Nick.
Oh, I said it earlier.
Hey, man, they on it, bro. They on it. But I don't think he makes it to 13. Listen, we're gonna talk about draft our 13th and our 31st pick and in a couple of minutes. I definitely want to talk a little bit about how free agencies it's kind of like on a pause, and if there's still some needs on our team, and I wanted to address, like, with the current free agents, like, what position do you feel like we still need? I mean, I think as far as free agency, I think we're done at the wide receiver position. I think we can still add another dynamic tight end to the table. And the defensive line. I feel like the defensive line to me will still be my highest priority. And I'm only saying that because of all the injuries we had on the defensive line last season. I know that doesn't mean that they're going to get injured this season, but we also don't know their status coming back. And if you haven't noticed, guys like Ronald Blair and all the guys that did get injured last season only signed 1-year contracts. So I think that's something we may want to address. And there's still guys out there. And I just want to talk about who do we feel will fit on that defensive line that's still a current free agent. I can list you the free agents and you tell me. All right. Jadeveon Clowney, Marcus Golden, Mike, I think that's one of your guys. Everson Griffin, Clay Matthews, Cameron Wake, Shelby Harris, Damian Snacks Harrison, Marcus Hunt, and here's my guy, Brandon Mebane.
Oh, Brandon Mebane, yeah.
I like Corey Legit also. Don't forget, that's my guy on the defensive line. So, I mean, there's a lot of options. Go ahead, Nick. What you want to say? What was that, Nick?
Bro.
Mike Chess looks like an old magnetic game with the magnetic pin. When you move the magnetic, dang, you old. Dang.
I can't.
You know what's crazy is that I know exactly what he's talking about.
Me too. We all do. That's the first thing that came out was like, Dad, you old. Yo, I'll be right back.
Do I need to make an appearance?
No, God, no.
No. She's not pressing me out. Hey, I got his back. Way back.
Yo.
Hey, Nick got out the middle.
Oh, my God. Yo, he killed me with that.
Why are they bombing on you?
Babe, I don't know. You should see the chat. It's worse than the chat.
Yo,
They're not even reading all the comments.
That's got me dying over here, Melissa.
Oh my God.
Just had an etch a sketch.
You can't.
Yo.
They just mad because they can't grow chest hair. That's all.
Yo, I got tons of chest hair.
I ain't mad. I like
it though. It ain't Jerry curls.
They over here doing this shit now. Look.
I like my smooth baby bottom, yo. I'm Gucci.
Oh my God. I'm going on mute. I don't need my wife.
All right, no, let's for real. Look, mama coming to whoop some ass.
I love it. Man. You guys have been invited into our lives, yo, and this is why you guys have to love this show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you're giving 49ers _NFL, 49ers Faithful 365 and myself follows on Twitter. Make sure you guys are following us, man, because we do this for a living, yo. This is what we do. We cut on mic.
All right, I can't anymore. I had to put that up. Sean, thanks for the contribution, bro.
Magnetic Mike show. Mike, that might be your fans only name, bro. Magnetic Mike.
My fans only page is already made. I just don't have any subscribers yet. So it's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
So let's get to the defensive guys, man. I named a couple of ends. I think I named Clowney, Griffin. I don't think Clay Matthews fits the 4-3. I'm not sure. I don't think he plays in the 4-3. I think he's 3-4 outside linebacker. Cameron Wake again. Is he another outside linebacker?
I think he's considered a DN.
He played in both systems.
I know he's an edge guy. Now
he's an edge guy.
Him, yeah.
He's
getting after the quarterback.
Now, how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you feel like we should bring in another edge guy? Not for competition, but for rotational purposes.
I wanted Demontre Moore back, man. I thought in his 2-game appearance he was suitable. Now there's some other options that are out there. Cameron Wake is out there. I liked him. I like him. I shouldn't say liked. I like him in a limited role. Keep his legs fresh and let him do what he does. I mean, Cameron's got one of those guys that got the motor. He's a tactician.
What if he played on the same side as D Ford, and you bring him in, and then you rotate those two guys at that spot?
Mm-hmm.
And I personally just feel like the defensive line is the strength, and then everything else like falls into place. And I know we lost a big part of that strength. And I'm not saying that those guys that we got, DJ Jones and all those guys that play inside, won't be able to step up, but it's going to take like 3 or 4 of them to help to do that. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, we talked, I don't remember if it was me and Mike, but we talked about Cameron Wake like 2 years ago, I believe, trying to bring him in here, talking about, yeah, he's an older guy, he's a veteran guy, but it would help our younger guys out. I think he's probably the guy that I like the most out of those guys. But I'm also not really big on bringing in another free agent defensive lineman. I think, I think we're done free agency, to be honest with you. Like, I really do. I think that 13th overall pick, and when we get into that, to me, I just don't see the Niners drafting wide receiver there. I really don't. I think that, they go something else and get receivers, since it's so
deep,
receiver heavy, this draft. So we already seen what we can get in the second, third. Obviously it depends if we trade that 13th pick or the 31st pick to acquire more picks. If we can't trade that 13th pick, I think they go receiver there. But if they can trade it, I think they go with something else. It depends. It really depends. And it stinks because these guys don't really get that. These coaches aren't getting that little mini camp before draft to see what they got, to line things up in the 3 tech, or, where DeForest Buckner was, and how Ronald Blair is, obviously they know what Ronald Blair is doing because he's out on injury, but just these guys, and see how they fill in at that position, which would tell them, hey, we need to draft here, or we need to draft there, or we need to do this first. These mini camps really hurt teams, not having them. Getting these guys back and seeing where they go from there. So, I wouldn't, like I said, once we get into the draft talk, I'll talk about that a little bit. But if I were to go after anything in free agency, it would probably be the guy that I would go after as of right now, is Cameron Wake.
That's what's up, man.
So let's get this question here answered really quick. It says, what CB is available? We need one more. A lot of people feel that the Niners should go after a corner in free agency.
Bricklark? That's how you say his name? Bricklark? Bricklayer. Okay, it's got a K in it, but all right, cool. That's cool, man. Thank you for reading my mind.
I don't know. I was just guessing Bricklayer. I can see it being Bricklayer.
He was reading my mind, Mike, because I was going there next. That will be, if I have to address another position in free agency, it would be cornerback position. And the top guys you got available, this is the most recent list I have. I did hear that Xavier Rhodes got signed by the Colts. All right, so he is on this list. We'll scratch him off. You got Prince Amukamara, Bashad Breeland, Ronald Darby, Jonathan Joseph, and Logan Ryan. Those are the top free agents.
My top 2 choices would be Breeland and Darby. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Darby because of the injury history and stuff like that, but the guy can play ball, man. But I like Breeland a while ago, and he's available again. I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on him. That's how I would handle it, though. At that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would go. Breeland's probably the number 1 guy on that list for me. I'm not a real big Darby fan, but he's probably the next best on that team, or on that list. Sorry. I would probably go Breeland too, but Breeland is, I don't know, man. Like, both Breeland and Darby got like
injuries
the last 2 years. They got destroyed. Darby in Philly, they wanted to get him out of here, and he had an injury, right? I believe he had an injury. But talent-wise, not going off of what they've done the last 2 years, I would probably say Breeland's probably the best guy on that list.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jonathan Joseph getting older because technically Jonathan Joseph would have been the best guy on the list. I just felt like having him and Xavier Rhodes, I guess they're getting older and they're losing a step. Sort of, we'll be in the same predicament like we are with Richard Sherman.
Right.
But I think they are better cover corners. But I think Breeland would be the guy that I would go with if I had to pick one. I'm not sold on Darby. I do know he can ball out, but I just feel like
he got toasted all year in Philly, man.
I just can't. That and his injury thing, man, it's already like, I mean, we're already struggling with injured players, so we may stay away from cornerbacks and just go with young guys and just let them, secure that defensive line and let those young guys, cover. I think that might be the route they're going to go.
Since we're talking about corners, this is a great point. DVLZ son says Tim Harris Jr. was having a great camp last season, just an unfortunate injury set him back. I don't know if it was a great camp, because we saw him in preseason, I believe, or I don't know if it was the first preseason game. And we were like, where'd this guy come from? Like, where, such and such. But he's just, second year in the system, obviously, with an injury last year. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised to see a late signing of Jason Verrett again if he's healthy.
Yeah. I'm not sure they go back there.
Not that I'm happy with that or I agree with it, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
How much of the system did he really learn?
I'd rather than bring back Dante Johnson. And you guys know Dante Johnson was I'm over it.
I'd rather than bring back Dante Johnson. I thought I would never say that, and I'm saying I'd rather than bring back
I always told myself I would never say that, so I'm going to stick with that. Not that I don't agree with it, but I'm going to say that because, look,
Denard is available to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Did not reach a deal with him, and he has been free to sign to whatever team he feels like he can sign to. So that he's from Cincinnati.
I just don't know how much money the Niners are willing to dole out at this point. We have to keep in mind that it's going to cost over $8 million to secure the draft picks. And if we trade back, depending on how many picks we end up selecting, it could cost a little bit more. Now, obviously, if we do trade back out of the first round, we save a little bit because you don't have 2 first-round guys to pay. But if you end up with 2 second-round picks or something like that, then you're right back in the same boat. You know what I mean? So it depends on what happens. But I do want to ask you guys this question as we're moving on, unless there was anything else on corners before.
Well, no, I was going to say at corners. I mean, I don't even know if we go after free agent corner because there's a lot of good corners in this draft too.
Right. Right. That's the thing. We can get some
but
help.
Corner is definitely something that we should be drafting this year because you have Richard Sherman coming up off a contract. You have Ahkello Witherspoon.
Secondary, bro.
What's that?
The whole secondary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody but Ward, right?
Everybody but Ward, bro.
Year, doesn't he?
Nope. I think this is Tart's year too.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but I think this is Tart's year.
Extension. I'll look it up while you guys are talking, but go ahead.
Yeah, but like just to go along with your saying, this is the year that the secondary is going to be heavily like under contracts will be expiring, and we need to fill in some holes. Even your guy, your favorite, Mosley, like this is it. Like he's going to be playing for a contract, and I'm hoping he balls out so they give him an extension. This is it for Ahkello Witherspoon. This is it. This is it. So it is time to replenish, reload. I think Tim Harris is a fast guy. So if he, continues to ball out, we may have something there. And like you said, Nick, this is a good draft. My only concern, though, is when we get into this draft, like you have to look at our pick selection. All right. So if you can get a corner like in the 4th round, but you kind of like, but we don't have a 4th round pick. So like we gotta like now we're pushing back to the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th round, which is where we pick again. And I think that's where it hurt us. We do have multiple picks. It's just that those 2 first-round picks, and then we have nothing else until the 5th round. And I think that's where we have to really like own in. I'm hoping there's secret players that we don't even know about, that they know about, that fits it, that no other team has been looking at to a Niners, strike gold, because they are known at drafting good 5th round picks. I'm just saying. So like,
now before we move on to the draft all the way, I got one more thing for us to do. Let's evaluate, or not even evaluate. Let's grade this offseason. I've seen a lot of people really upset on Twitter talking about how the 49ers didn't do a lot. They didn't go out and get all these free agents. They weren't aggressive. They didn't trade for anybody and stuff like that. There's a lot of people unhappy with how this offseason has gone so far. And I would just want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Let's do some grades on the offseason so far. And just check, if you want to break down why you're giving it that grade, or you can give it a grade. And if it's obvious why then we'll let it sit that way.
Cool. All right, man. I'm in the offseason an A, solid across the board A. And it started with the trade. It started with the trade. I knew, none of us knew that was going to go down. The 49ers were definitely trying to figure out ways to bolster up their team. They didn't want to lose anybody, and unfortunately they ended up losing, in my opinion, two of the most valuable pieces on both sides of the ball. They lost Emmanuel Sanders to free agency, and they lost DeForest Buckner to free agency. And the reason why I say they're probably like the most valuable pieces is because they were anchor pieces. If you notice, when Emmanuel Sanders came in, the offense ignited. When DeForest Buckner was playing, but DeForest Buckner, if we want to say his play decline, that is 100% accurate. It did. It lessened. But he was always on the field. And when he was off the field, there were big ass gaseous runs. Like, runs would just go for 13, 15. Just look at some of those plays against Arizona when they first got Drake, and he had to take a play off because he was tired. Like, we're gonna be missing that. I'm not saying we can't replenish it. We're definitely not going to be able to replace it right away. But I think that the 49ers definitely have pieces to fill in. They've been adding. The 49ers definitely traded away a player, a Pro Bowl player, All Pro. I'm not sure if he made All Pro, but a Pro Bowl player that definitely would have been was a fan favorite. And I think if fans are grading the 49ers lows because they lost a key player, and now they have a first round draft pick at 13, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are the 49ers going to do with that pick? And I think that is where you're getting all the animosity from the 49er fan base, because you traded away a fan favorite. And the signing of Eric Armstead was amazing, right? Like, you signed a guy that like produced at his contract year. Like, I understand he didn't do much, blah, 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 whatever. But when it was on the line, he did what he was supposed to do. They extended his contract, and then they let go of fan favorite. And I think that's where all the animosity comes in. But all across the board, we watched Kyle replace players with other players that fit the same skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like, we lost Sanders. We picked up Travis Benjamin. I'm not saying Travis Benjamin replaces Emmanuel Sanders, but he's bringing in another guy that knows the system. We look at the restructures that we did. I'm gonna shut up in a second, but look at the restructures or the renegotiating. Like Jerick McKinnon, you got one of the fastest running backs in the NFL is playing for like $1,000 next year. Like, how did that happen? Like, who, how, what, when, where, why? Like, how? Like, how? Then he tenders. He puts second round tenders on players that people love on this team. Kendrick Bourne and Matt Breida. He placed high tenders on those guys. Obviously, they became valuable. He took 2 undrafted picks and made them draft worthy. Like, that's amazing. Like, this, like, the team is going to be, it's going to be a tough sled making another championship run. But overall in the offseason, if you guys don't give this an A, I don't think you guys really understand the intricacies of how they had to language the contracts, right? To get players to sign, bring in Jimmy Ward. Yo, Jimmy Ward said, yo, man, I'll take a pay cut. I got to be here, homie. Like, y'all believed in me all this time. Y'all extended me that 1 year. I struggle with injuries. and I don't care what Oakland, Las Vegas wants to pay me. I need to be here. Like, that's amazing. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is an A for me, a solid A. Solid A.
All right, Nick, what are your thoughts on the offseason so far, man? Let's give it a grade.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with the trade also. I thought that was something that was it sucks that you're getting rid of such a great player. But it was something that needed to be done to keep this team together for the foreseeable future. We weren't going to sign him next year for $21 million. Actually, he's making $24 million this year. If you look at his contract breakdown, he's making $24 million this year, and then it goes down to like 21 or 20 million the following years. But to me, to get draft capital and be able to draft whatever position it may be, whether it be a replacement at 13, whether it be a wide receiver at 13, it just made sense. Having low-key cap, which I think the last that Nick Wagner put out was we were at like 19.5 million without the Blair signing in there and somebody else. But either way, getting the trade and the value we got back for him to me was an A, right? And that was a good move. It allows you to get more cap this year, and it saved us 12.4 million. That's more than half of our cap this year, right? So you get that back to be able to bring back guys that were free agents on your team. So it's just the same as signing a free agent outside. It's just you're keeping that team together. There's only two guys that aren't coming back that were starters to this team from the Super Bowl team, and that's Emmanuel Sanders and that's DeForest Buckner, right? Wide receiver is a really, really deep position in the draft this year, and there's a couple really good defensive linemen in this draft this year that played defensive tackle. So you can get your replacement there. You may not see it right now, but in the years to come, for the next 4 years or 5 years, if he's a first rounder, you'll see that difference, that growth, right? Then you move on to bringing guys back like Ronald Blair. I thought that was a huge part is to bring him back because he was a great. I think he's gonna have a hell of a year if he's healthy. And then you talk about Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward being the only guy that doesn't come back or is the only guy that will be back next year. Your safety is a big part of your secondary, right? You need that person in there that knows how to command the corners and your secondary. That was a big move there. Who else am I forgetting that we brought back? Brunskill. Huge piece, right? We bring him back and let Person go. So you see that how Brunskill has evolved in this offense, right? You're still getting Justin School back, obviously, from that offensive line. So your offensive line is intact. Then you restructure Jerick McKinnon for the league minimum. Like this guy literally just said, I'll take the league minimum. Give me the league minimum and I'll play. I'll show you what it is. If I have to earn another contract, then I'll do it. And this says a lot for the front office that these guys are willing. You saw Jimmy Ward was offered more money in Oakland and took the Niners contract and decided to come back. So you tell what this locker room and the front office and the head coach and the coaches in general do to this locker room with guys wanting to come back. They're turning down more money. Guys are saying, hey, cut this and just give me league minimum. I'll stay here. I'll prove it to you. I know I've been hurt. You've trusted in me. I'm going to trust in you. So then you put the tenders on, Breida and Bourne. While you're okay if they leave, but you set that to where if they leave, you're going to get something back, right? So that's just another smart move, whether it's no matter who it is, Breida, Kendrick Bourne, it doesn't matter who it is. You set that tender. You heard Emmanuel Sanders say, I wanted to come back. We just couldn't get to the money right spot, right? Now, I think if the draft this year wasn't as in-depth and heavy as it is with wide receivers, I think they would have negotiated a way to bring Emmanuel Sanders back for another year, right? But since they can replace it and replenish it in the draft, I think they turned their heads towards that because they're like, we don't really have the money right now. This gives us options, and it'll also carry over to next year where it's supposedly going to be anywhere from 40 to 60 million cap, and you add that other money onto there. So I mean, the offseason's been really good. There hasn't been a lot of crazy, Travis Benjamin, obviously. There hasn't been really any holy shit, like the Niners signed this person, but they're keys to this Super Bowl team in my eyes. And the other pieces that we did have a chance to compete and see if they make us better. If they don't, it's I still haven't seen the contract on Travis Benjamin. Or what the details are on that, and I'm kind of interested to see what that is. But for the most part, man, I'm right at an A. I mean, right now, I think the offseason's been really good. You've done your main part in trying to keep the core of the Super Bowl team together as best as you could, and you added a few extra pieces, and you added tenders on guys that in case they walk, you get something back. So, with gaining extra money or gaining additional first-round pick where you can do anything with that 13th pick and establish more picks in the draft, it's an easy A for me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recap the entire offseason, but I completely agree. And I think the biggest thing is what you touched on right at the end there. You said it in the middle of what you were talking about also, but it's that the 49ers had a Super Bowl team and they brought back 90% of them. You don't see that happen a lot. You really, really don't, especially with the number of free agents that we had. Those guys usually go somewhere else and they get signed. The fact that they were able to bring them back, and then not for nothing, the people that they didn't bring back, all three of the starters, were guys that I felt like the Niners should have moved on from anyway. Well, especially with two of them. Mike Person, you guys know how I felt about him for the last couple of seasons. He's fine. He's doing the job, but like we can get better at his position, right? With Emmanuel Sanders, I didn't think that he was someone that the Niners should have brought back, regardless if they came to the money or not. He's not a part of the future. He is a Band-Aid. In a draft that is this good at the wide receiver position, you don't bring him back. You get your 5+ year guy this year. So I liked all the moves that they were making with the DeForest Buckner thing and letting him go. It's one thing all right, so we talked about multiple times on the show, is it going to be possible to keep all 5 of these defensive linemen? They can do it, but they're going to crush the salary cap. You're going to invest a lot of money in those 5 guys, right? Now, we could have kept Buckner under contract and then just let him walk in free agency and we get a comp pick. The fact that they got rid of him 1 year earlier, which is, what people say that good teams do, you get rid of him 1 year earlier, not 1 year too late, and we got significant compensation for him, it's a win-win. Plus the salary cap relief. So it's definitely an A+. There are some things I wish the team would do different. The Travis Benjamin thing, there's another wide receiver, 2 wide receivers I wish they would have got instead of him and all that. But I'm not going to nitpick because I don't think that they're looking for their future in free agency. I think they're looking for their future in the draft. So A+ for me. Not everything has been perfect, but the things that aren't perfect, they still have time to rectify. I can't sit here and with a straight face.
You've heard a lot of people say this is the Bill Belichick system. This is what Bill Belichick does. He'll bring in guys that tries to keep the team together, and he'll only replace guys if he thinks they're going to be better, right? And that's what the Niners are doing right now. They're bringing their team back. They're keeping their team together as much as they possibly can, and I'm stoked about that. Like, I'm excited about that.
And this team is also doing one more thing on this, and then we'll get to this draft stuff, I promise. This team is showing faith in what they previously drafted. They in case they lost Jimmy Ward, there's more back there. In case they lost DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead, they got Street and they got Taylor. Like they are showing faith in the guys they picked up, and that's what you want to see in a team. You don't want to see them relying on veterans all the time. When teams do that, you become the Rams, and that is not good for anybody. So that's my last take on it all. I saw Breezy come off. I don't know if you want to jump on there, or are we going to change it up to the draft now?
Yeah, man. Let's kick off this draft, man. The 2020 draft is almost. The 2020 draft is almost underway. We're about a month out to the draft. Mike, that was right on time. We truly appreciate that. Yo, it is about to go down. The 49ers have the 13th pick in the draft. And what I want to do, though, I really want us to focus on picking 13 and 31. I let's not look for trades on this show in particularly. But let's just focus on 13th and 31. I know we got 2 holes. We got a few holes we need to fill. We got some positions where we want to plug and play. We have an opportunity to like draft probably one of the top greatest prospect receivers of all time that can probably be the next Jerry Rice.
Oh, don't put that pressure on him, man.
Listen, you have to watch his footage, bro. Like when you watch this guy's footage, it's that stop and go speed. Like it's ridiculous, yo. And I'm just saying, we have an opportunity now. None of the players are opportune to fall to us at 13. Like none of them. Like we can have our target on the board, and he may not be there at 13. Okay, so we have to figure out. We're gonna play like if it is there. Like if he's there, who are you drafting with the 13th pick? Who are you drafting with the 13th pick? And I definitely want fans to chime in however they can, whatever like that. But on the show, we have Mike, 49ers Mike. We have 49ers Faithful 365, my man Nick, and myself. Who are you drafting at 13? I'll go last, but who are you drafting at 13?
All right, well, I'll kick it off. You guys already know where I'm going, man. Wide receiver Henry Ruggs, for multiple reasons. I think this guy can be more explosive than a Jude. I know a lot of people really like him, but you also I'm playing for the ceiling. The 49ers have drafted safe wide receivers all the time, right? Where the ceiling may not be all the way up here, but they're drafting safe guys. Dante Pettis, oh, he's a good route runner with good hands. Deebo Samuel, he's a physical guy, good route runner, right? Good hands. I'm ready to see somebody with the potential to be the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'm ready for the team to take a gamble like that. And you know when you take a gamble? When you play him with house money. And you know how you get house money? By getting rid of a player that you were probably going to lose anyway and gaining a free first-round pick. You take that house money and you turn it up. Jude is a great guy, and if we got him, I would not be upset, but he is the safe pick, in my opinion. I want the potential. I want the potential. I want a guy that can touch the ball on the 5-yard slant and take it all the way to the house. Good footwork, physical across the middle. All the things that Kyle Shanahan needs in his wide receivers, and he's got the juice to do it also. He's got the juice to be even better, and that's what I'm looking for. It's Ruggs for me, guys. That's going to be my guy.
Okay. So Mike is going wide receiver. Nick, you are on the clock. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Y'all are killing me.
My bad.
I had the right key and everything.
Y'all are killing me because we're not trading, and I don't think that I would. Man,
we'll save it for another show because I definitely want your trade option at 13.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna do it differently, and I'm not gonna go with a receiver there. And I'm gonna go with a cornerback. And I'm gonna go with CJ Henderson, probably from Florida. You can still get a good receiver at 31. It's not going to be a Jude. It's not going to be a Jude or a Lamb or a Ruggs, but I mean, you can still get a good receiver at 31. And with the Niners' background of drafting wide receivers, I'm okay with taking one at 31 instead of 13.
Wait, what's that mean? What's our background with drafting wide receivers?
In the first round? Horrible. Our Niners drafting in the first round receivers is horrible, right? We usually hit on the later guys like third, second. But since we don't have those picks, I think corner and wide receiver are the two top positions. If you're making me do something there, I'll draft the receiver with 31 and draft the best corner, one of the best corners in the draft right now.
No, you said it right. You said the best corner, and I want you to talk about why CJ Henderson is the best corner, bro.
No, I mean I just think he played. He's physical.
He's tall.
He's tall.
Long.
He's lanky, and this is exactly what we need for this system. So
yeah, he's the best fit.
Yeah, he's the best fit for this system. So I would, and I don't know what he's ranked overall
He's the second best.
Obviously,
corner in the draft.
obviously, the Ohio State
Okuda.
Okdu, or however you say his name. I
Okuda.
love him because I'm an Ohio State fan, but I think he's going to go off the board way before 13. Like, I just think he will. So next is, to me,
Well, no,
it would be-
you got to remember, Breezy said just assume that whoever you're going to say is going to be there. That's how we start. That's how we started the exercise. Isn't that what we were doing
Correct.
for the 13th?
oh,
Okay.
just assume that he'll be there. Well, I would definitely probably take either one of those guys, to be honest with you. I think Henderson's probably, I don't know. Jeff's pretty good, man. So it's definitely, to me, it's definitely it's between those two guys. If you're saying that just assume he's there, I would probably take who? I would probably take the Ohio State corner. Okdu.
Yeah. It depends on who you want. Like Okuda reminds me of Darrelle Revis, and Henderson reminds me of Richard Sherman. I don't think he's as smart as Richard Sherman, but he's faster, he's long, and if you're going to replace Richard Sherman, that's probably the guy that you want. That's the guy that's going to fit the system, unless you're going to go man zone and have an island guy and the zone coverage on the other half of the field. It all depends on how they want to do the defense this year. I think the one thing we don't talk about is, like, I know it's not ideal. You probably see it more on offense, but the defense may switch stuff up a little bit this year, depending on their personnel. So we might see some different formations and things out of that wide nine, or it might not be a wide nine. It might be something different. We don't know. I know the offense is probably going to shift some things up and things like that. There are a few cornerbacks, though. There are my top 5 cornerbacks, and Henderson is probably. I'm going to be lying to say that Henderson is my favorite, but Okuda is my favorite. But I think Henderson, to me, is the guy that I would want as a 49er as well. So we got Mike with Ruggs, we got Nick with Henderson / Okuda, one of the two. That's who he wants. And for me, pardon my French, but man, bump all that wide receiver bullshit we dealt with in the past, man. That shit's in the past, bro. And you could say we ain't drafted shit. We drafted Jerry Rice. He panned out. We drafted.
Jerry Rice wasn't a first-round pick.
I'm just saying he panned out. We drafted Michael Crabtree. He panned out. It took him some time. It took him time. You can't tell me his last 2 years. Absolutely we can say that to him, but he panned out. It's my point. You got to give guys time to develop. Plus, he came in with a foot injury and missed his whole first year. I ain't chalking up none of those. Wasn't Terrell Owens a first-round pick? Second-round pick?
Jerry was. I was just messing with you. Jerry was a first-round pick. I was just messing with you.
Terrell Owens wasn't a first-round pick?
He was picked 16.
Yeah.
But
these guys, man, like, all I'm saying is, for me, with the 13th pick, ding, 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 I am drafting wide receiver from Alabama, Jerry Jeudy. All right. That is the guy that I'm going with. He is the best, to me, he's the best wide receiver in the draft. And he will be there at 13, and he will be a 49er, and he is Jerry Rice-like. I mean, I'm not putting that stigma on him, but man, I get the explosiveness you get out of Ruggs, bro. Trust me, I get the physical play, and I think Ruggs is taller too. So, like, I get it. I get his speed is everything, and we haven't had a dynamic guy like that on the field. We got some speedy guys as wide receivers, and Jerry Jeudy is another one of those stop and go guys, man. He can catch the slants, he can run the route. He's the best. I would like to know what the 49ers would be like with the best route runner in the game. I want to see what type of plays Kyle Shanahan can draft up or cook up or chef up or whatever words you want to use with the best route runner coming out of college. I can't even imagine a guy that can create separation off of quick feet and speed and route and beat you over the top and beat you across the middle. Like, who do you put on this guy? So that's my guy. I mean, I get Ruggs is dope, man. It's hard to pass up on Ruggs. It's hard to pass up on Lamb. Lamb is a throw me the ball. I'm a get it type of guy. I'm just thinking, give me a route runner that'll whap out the defense. That's gonna leave Kittle 1-on-1. That's gonna leave they don't know how they're gonna cover Debo, and Trent Taylor can feast. Like somebody else can feast in this offense when you have pieces like that. I do like Ruggs though. I can't front.
It's gonna be really interesting because there's a couple teams ahead of us that
I know, Nick,
need receiver,
you got Las Vegas, right? You got
Las Vegas. I got to get used to saying that.
I know the Jets might be in need of a receiver. They did sign somebody in free agency, but they did lose Robbie Anderson, so they don't have that deep route guy. But if the Jets don't draft the offensive line, they will go 0-95 this season. I guarantee it. They ain't winning the game, and they could cancel their quarterback. So they better go ahead and get that tackle. So, yeah. So with the 13th pick, I feel like you go wide receiver, just like the same things Mike was saying. Listen, give me a guy I can have 5 years where the contract is going to be what it is. And I ain't got to worry about him blowing up or whatever. Like, he comes into this system. He's any one of the guys to me out of Alabama are coming in NFL ready. So I got to go Alabama with this particular pick. And I think the wide receiver is the position that we as fans, we need to see more explosion on the offense. Because when your defense gets low and your defense gets injured and your defense are tired and the defense can't stop a team from going 3 and out, your offense needs to be able to put up points. Your offense needs to be able to carry the team, and your offense needs to be able to execute and get that first down so that the game can be over. So I'm definitely think with this wide receiver pick, whichever receiver that it is, for me is Judy, for Mike is Ruggs. I think they need to go wide receiver at 13 because guess who they can get at 31, Nick?
Who?
Henderson.
I think Henderson's off the board.
I don't think so because I know Green Bay is probably going to draft a receiver. Like it's just I don't know what Kansas City's going to. I think he'll be there at 31. I think he'll be there at 31. I think 2 DBs will go in the first round.
Yeah, it'll be
Okudah,
and Henderson.
Yep.
I only played that because that's the way that we were playing the game.
Don't worry. The next show you're gonna be able to trade the 13th. I can't wait to hear what you do when you trade the 13th pick. Let's get into this 31st pick now. So now we're drafting again. All right, and we'll go backwards. We'll go me at 31, and then Nick, and then Mike. We do a little snake draft. All right. So with the 31st pick, I'm drafting cornerback CJ Henderson from the University of Florida. We already talked about him. He fixed his team. He is the prototype of Richard Sherman. If he can come in and sit under Richard Sherman and learn, he's also a student of the game. I forgot to say that part. He definitely likes to study film. If he can come and sit under Richard Sherman for 1 year, this will make that Richard Sherman contract so much more valuable than what it already is. You go ahead and get him at 31. You have your cornerback for 5 years. You have your wide receiver for 5 years. Well, with the 5th-year options, obviously. And the 49ers are going to be young and ready to go. And I remember I kept saying the Super Bowl window is going to be 3 to 5 years. This is how you make it 3 to 5 years. Nick, with the 31st pick, who are you drafting?
Oh man, you guys are killing me. And I have to draft here, right? Obviously.
We'll do trades on the next show, Nick. Sound like one of my students. Got to say it 5 times for them to understand.
So I went corner with 13. And you're saying assume these guys are there, right?
Yes, sir.
You're saying assume these guys are there, which I doubt this guy will really be there at 31. But My next receiver I would probably go outside
This
those
is
top
my-
3 is T. Higgins.
Oh, Higgins, that's my guy. No, I think he'll be there at 31. That is my guy.
Yeah,
Nice,
so that would
dude.
probably be the other guy that I would go for at 31. If I'm taking the way I did my draft, corner at 13 and then 31 T. Higgins. That's who I'd probably go.
Higgins reminds me of Andre Johnson, yo.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's a bigger, hey, he runs fast. He's a 4.39 guy too. So I mean, it
That's
could
a good
be.
pick. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I'm not sure what made his draft stock fall. I don't think it was anything that he did. I just think it was the other receivers just did more. Like
Right.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was gonna say that's exactly it. It's not about what he did; it's about what other receivers look like and how they project. The entire time, I was under the premise that the Niners only had the 31st pick. Higgins was the guy I was locked in on. I wouldn't let myself get excited about Jerry Jeudy and Ruggs. I wouldn't let myself look at those guys like Lamb. Even guys. I was looking at guys like Higgins and Mims like that. Those were the guys I was looking at back there at 31. So I think that's a great pick.
Great pick. Mike, with the 31st pick, you were drafting for the San Francisco 49ers.
And I'm going to shock the world. So let me get my theme music. With the 31st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the 49ers do something unconventional. They would never expect Kyle Shanahan to do this.
Better not be a kicker.
Hey, wait, shut the fuck up. Shh.
Can't
They're
say
drafting
that.
running back.
I knew
Running
you-
back.
I knew you were
Yes.
gonna say that.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Yo,
Let's go.
you don't know how much I want to draft that kid, bro. I've been talking about him all year. I've been sending Croc messages. I've been saying, look at this kid from Wisconsin, right?
Yes, sir.
I said, look at this boy, this young man. Like, yo, he's better than Saquon Barkley, yo. Like, yo.
This guy, he's a well-rounded guy.
Yo.
He's got great vision. He's got great
Yo,
speed.
just real quick, Dre Berry said, when did T. Higgins run a 4.3? He's lost. He ran a 4.39 at the combine.
Did he run a 4.39?
I thought he was a 4.48 guy.
Let me see if I got his time on my phone.
I'm pretty sure he ran a 4.39.
All right, I'll look it up.
That'd be even more impressive. I didn't think that his big ass was moving like that.
Yeah, what's he, 6'3", 6'4", 6'3"?
I'll be honest with you guys. I wasn't watching a lot of the combine or anything like that, so I'm not sure. I thought
He ran a 4.39.
Did he really?
He ran a 4.39.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
He did 20 reps on the bench press at his pro day. Wow.
Oh wait, are these pro day numbers or are these combine numbers?
He didn't do the strength at the combine. He just did the 40
Oh, all right.
and other things, but he did his strength at his pro day. Wow.
See, one of the things I do though is that when I like somebody, I don't let the combine hype affect my view on them, right? So what I like to see when I see a wide receiver that I like, I hope he has a bad 40 time. You know what I mean? Because it's like, good, he'll be there at 31 when we're picking. You get what I'm saying? Like those are the things that I'm hoping for. You want everybody else to just keep blowing stuff out the water. So that's why I really was like, Higgins has got to be the guy. I thought Higgins did something really bad, and I was like, great, that means he'll be there at 31. I feel like I remember talking about that in the group chat. Oh, his cone? He had a bad cone, 3-cone?
No, he actually his 20-yard shuttle was a 4.25. I don't remember what his
3-cone?
His 3-cone was.
Something he did at the combine was bad, and I was like, good. Like, keep him around for the Niners at 31. That's the way I was thinking. But, yeah. So, anyhow, my pick, though, I know I had the last pick for the 31st one. It's going to be the running back, man. A guy with vision, patience, explosiveness, speed. He did run a 4.38 or 4.39 at the combine. That much I know. But he was over there at Wisconsin going apeshit. And that's the kind of guy that I really want to see. So, if I know, like the odds of the Niners taking a running back in the draft at all is slim to none. Taking one in the first round is even slimmer. Like you would probably have like a 3% chance of that happening. But I'm telling you, man, we sitting here, we babysitting all these running backs and everything, and people keep saying, look at how much money we're spending at the position. Look at how much money we're spending at the position. You get him, and you get him one good backup, and you are set. You're set. So that's what I would be looking for right there. It's the explosive running back, Jonathan Taylor. So that's it. That's it for me, guys. I'm done on the draft talk for tonight.
Yeah, man. Draft talk is done, man. We definitely will come back to you with another draft show, and we're gonna introduce trades where we're gonna trade either the 13th pick or the 31st pick. We'll come up with scenarios for both the 13th and the 31st pick scenarios, and we'll trade.
I'm trying to prepare Niners fans, bro, because those top 3 guys, I really just doubt that the Niners even draft them. It's gonna be they're gonna fall in love with one of those 3 guys, and if that guy's not there, they're gonna make the decision whether to take the next best player available or trade that pick to establish more picks in the second and third round.
But we keep saying trade the pick, and we gotta find the team that's willing to trade. So that's not going to be set in stone. That's an option that we want. But
I think you'll be able to get rid of the 13th pick.
Miami, because they got 4 first-round picks. It don't work like that. Like, they're gonna want
I'm saying to somebody who wants to get above a team. So between that 16 to 20 range, there's going to be somebody that wants to jump up. It's just a matter of what they are asking for.
Right. And that's my concern. Like, it's just like, if they're gonna ask for teams come after the 40, I don't know why, but teams come after the 49ers and they want freaking bank. And when all these deals don't go through, we be like, oh, we didn't man up, or we didn't want to pay all this. Yo, cats be wanting the waterfalls, the water well, the water at the horses. They want everything from the 49ers. And John Lynch just simply says no and moves on. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's what's gonna happen to us. I'm saying realistically, don't be surprised if they draft 13 and 31, because teams are going to come after them like that. I'm hoping what Nick is saying is correct. I'm hoping a team like New England says, yo, Lynch, I'll give you the 23rd pick, and you give me the 13th pick. I'll give you the 23rd pick and a third rounder, because I don't think they got a second rounder in this draft. And you give me that 13th, and you could go ahead and they pick their quarterback at 13, and we got 23, 31, and now we got a third round pick. So I'm sure we're going to need more for the 13th pick, because I don't understand the value.
The points for 31 is a second and a third rounder.
So what's the points for 13?
You're looking at a second. You're probably going to get a 1 back, which will give you some, and then a second, third, and possibly a 4th.
So we're going to need a 1, 3rd, and 2, 4. So however, they got to figure out the points to match it up. If
I'm trading, I'm getting into the second round.
Right. So then you won't be trading with the Patriots because they don't have.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody's coming to me with a trade, realistically, I'm trying to move down in the first, still have the 31st pick, and then pick somewhere in that
second,
mid-range of the second, and still mid-range of the third, and wherever in the 4th.
Exactly. So and that's why I said that's not easy. Because now you got to find teams who has the second round. I mean, they're going to come after you, but now you got to figure out, because like I said, what if the Patriots come after them? They don't got a second round pick. Now you just got to hang up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So like, you got to, it's the trade is
not necessarily, because you could take their picks and then try to trade it again to establish more. You could do a double trade, you know?
You can. You're absolutely right. So it's going to be a crazy war room. On that draft weekend.
No, it's going to be a crazy telephone calls like all over the world.
It's going to
there's no war room.
Right. It's going to look like that movie War Room or whatever. But it's going to be crazy, guys. So
hey, I wonder how that works with officials. Like
what do you mean?
Like with team, like actually in the war room.
But what about the officials? What do you mean the officials?
I meant like the official people, like draft people, like the team. Because they can't. They're. I don't know if they're going to be allowed to meet and all sit in the same room.
I think it's going to be all teleconference. They're going to be zooming in and shit. It's going to be crazy. Google Hangouts. It's going. They better Microsoft. You know what? Microsoft Teams, bro. Microsoft doesn't. Microsoft do that tablet thing they be using in the NFL? Ain't that they sponsor?
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
Yep.
What's-
So all I'm saying is the software on those tablets is called Microsoft, and they have a app
Microsoft
called
Surface.
Teams, and it's like Facebook Messenger, but you could video conference in it with everybody, and then one person talks at a time.
Yeah, I was just saying this to West Coast. He said it's just going to be Goodell announcing the picks. I know that he's going to be announcing them, but I'm saying like John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, the coaches, whoever's in the war room, like us three here, like we are right now, we're going to be talking like this to establish what's on the board and what's not. Like you're not going to be in the physical room with them. So
No, I think that the front office people will be allowed in the room. You guys got to remember that this whole thing is like about 10 or less people being together. I don't think you have that many people running your war room at a time I'm talking about non-guests, non-essential personnel. You're going to have your GM, your coaches, your position coaches, and your scouts information in there. And that's really,
I'm just wondering like how it's going to work. It's pretty interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I agree, but we don't know like how severe this corona thing is going to take off. We're hoping.
Well, I'm hoping that shit's done by then.
We're hoping that it's done, but I mean, cases are doubling every day. Like the
United States is actually the highest amount of cases now in the world.
I saw that 3 hours ago. So we're just hoping, like, you know what I'm saying? And if it's safe to just do what we're doing, streaming and doing it like this, then they're going to have to do it like this. And we're just going to have a unique draft. Like the 2020 draft would just be unique. And it's just what it is. And they'll have something that they can tell their kids when they get older. Yo, we drafted online. That shit was crazy. But yeah,
Dale's going to tell his kids, I finally announced picks without getting booed.
Oh, he'll get booed. He's
Yeah,
gonna get booed.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna be able to hear it.
I'm sure there's gonna be some smart ass MIT student that's gonna create a video mic thing for that cat to hear him get booed. They're gonna figure it out. Or maybe he'll play a game and just boo himself just to keep the stuff going on. That'd be kind of dope, Goodell. You can pay me for that later. But yeah, man, that's it. That's what we got for tonight's show, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man.
absolutely, man. We're going to wrap this thing up here. That was a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait till we really start playing this and doing our on-camera mock drafts and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Any final thoughts before we completely shut it down?
No, sorry about that little spoiler about Thursday night, guys, but just make sure those notifications are set so that you because Mike, you had told him be tuned in Thursday night. Tonight's Thursday night, so
And we're here.
yeah. That's not what it was about, though. You said for something special. So,
First of all, this is our first draft conversation. This is special.
This is special.
bro, you see these faces? There ain't nothing special about this. And the little
You ain't see all the titty meat out. That's special, man.
he said the titty meat.
They know what we got coming. Somebody actually guessed it during the video. Somebody guessed exactly what it was.
Yeah, well, because you kept dropping and
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's it. No final thoughts, Breezy?
Yeah,
I know you
man,
just
I'm
did the recap.
all Gucci, man. This was a great show, man. Thank you for letting me talk.
Nah, no problem, man. It's a lot of fun. Draft stuff is about to start ramping up over here, guys, because it looks like the free agency period for the 49ers is, for the most part, largely done. So we are going to start looking at the draft. We're going to start bringing you guys your mock drafts. We know that you guys love doing it. We know that you guys love coming on the show and doing the mock draft. All that stuff is going to be coming back, so you guys get ready. Start doing your research and doing your homework. It's never too late to start looking up draft prospects. All right, guys? So that's going to be it for us here tonight. We want to thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you got that like and subscribe button turned on, as well as those notifications. Make sure you guys give us follows on all our various social media platforms. And if you don't know what they are, just check out the website, nothingbutniners.com, and it will have you taken care of. All right? For everybody on the panel, oh, that's right. Make sure you guys check out Shop NB Niners. All right, shopnbniners.com. All right, for everybody on the panel, I am Guy 49ers Mike _NFL signing out. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here. Peace.